Day 2 on the Toyota Camry, and got a late start today because I had an appointment this morning. So it's already 1 o'clock and I'm just getting started. But I'm jumping right in. So I've got the radio pulled, the dash, everything out. So these things look a little scary when you're doing the radio, but it's not bad. Everything on that dash that you're looking at snaps in. It's all just clips. It's kind of crazy. But it's a very, very, very big dash kit that goes in there. Kind of looks like chaos going on in here because there's a lot on the table. We got the parts from the trunk. We've got parts from the dash. All the parts from the dash. Heating controls. So it's kind of messy right now, but it'll all come together here in a second. So the factory radio's right here, and then you have the new kit, which is this giant piece. Definitely gotta be careful when you're taking this out, when you're unsnapping it, because this all comes with the radio, and this part right here, if you're not paying attention, you'll snap that right off. I mean, it's just a radio install. It's just nowadays things take a lot longer because they have GPS antennas, because the wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. You've got the microphone, which Maestro should be coming out with their new mic interface, so you can use the factory microphone in a car, which will be amazing. I don't know when that's supposed to come out, but when it does, I will never put another mic in a car again because it is just annoying putting a microphone in every install. I'm using a Maestro system. If you don't know what that is, all new vehicles need some sort of interface. It's not like the old days where it's just a harness that plugs in. I mean, there's some cars that are like that, but not many, especially if it's, past 2018. The reason for that is all the new cars have what's called a CAN bus network inside of it. And that's where all the modules and everything communicates across the CAN bus network, including your radio, especially if you have factory amplifiers, backup cameras, steering wheel controls, all that stuff. And then some cars have the menu features where you can go up into your screen on your radio and you can change different features about your vehicle, the parking lights, if they flash, if they don't flash, etc. That's all done through the CAN bus network, and you need an interface that will communicate with that network so the new radio can work. If you don't, you're gonna have a radio that powers up, but you're gonna lose all the features in your car. And that's why it's kind of a little annoying sometimes when you give customers quotes and they think you're ripping them off, but some of these interfaces can be $250, $400. So it is what it is. Your vehicle requires it, and without it, you can't do the install properly. But the Maestro system, I think, is kind of like the upper echelon. Like, they are the top dog interfaces. And if you can use a Maestro system and your radio is Maestro compatible because they actually talk digitally, then that's the way to go. But to do it, you have to flash it. And you have to flash it for the radio you're using and the vehicle. So first off, you're gonna have to plug it into your computer. It comes with a little USB cable. I'm gonna click right here, Maestro, because I'm not doing a remote start. And it sees right there, it's looking at the Maestro box that I have plugged into it. There's the serial number, blah, blah, blah. I want to flash by vehicle. Select the year, it's gonna be a 2020. Select the make, it's gonna be a Toyota. Obviously next should be a Camry. Camry without JBL. It does not have JBLs. And if you have different steering wheel configurations, it'll have different pictures, but obviously there's only one for this car, so I'll pick that one steering wheel. Then you gotta select the brand of radio that you're putting in, because you have to have the serial number for the radio, because it literally will communicate with the radio. There's the 9000 ES. You gotta click that. Now it wants that serial number. It is the one that says S, so it's 3502403, just the middle numbers. That is the serial number. So now it wants you to select the firmware, which this only has one firmware available, so we'll go ahead and click that. All right, I have the HRT03, so right there, hit continue. See the SON1? What this is since I'm using a Sony radio, this is already pre-wired, so you don't have to wire anything. That'll plug into the Sony radio, and the other side plugs into the Maestro harness. Get it if you can. It saves so much time, so much clutter, and just makes the install clean. Also, the TO3, which is the USB, so that retains the USB plug. So I have that. I did not know there was a satellite and GPS adapter. So, that would have been nice to know, because I have to run the GPS antenna, but I could have used that, so bummer. I don't have that, but that's cool to know in the future, I guess. Now, how you want to configure your system. I want it to give vehicle info, advanced camera features. I always just leave everything on here checked. I really don't know the difference. I could just lie to you, but I just leave it all on here. Now you can set up the steering wheel. So you can actually change what each one of the buttons do. Over here, you can select in the drop box what you want it to do. So then once you get everything selected, it'll bring you to this kind of final screen. Shows you the product, shows you the car, shows you your steering wheel, your radio. Just kind of going over everything that you selected. And all this accessories and stuff, the reason they matter is because it's going to give you an installation manual. And it'll show you, you know, what to do with these since you said you have them. I can go ahead and hit flash down here in the corner. Oh, look at that speed. And there you go. There's the Maestro commercial. I'm gonna go ahead and get this unplugged. I'll print out the install guide, but I don't think I need it. I've done enough of these, but I'll print it off just for giggles and get back to work. So I've got the RCAs ran, all hooked up, got everything taken care of in the trunk that needed to be taken care of. And now I'm ready to put in the radio. The GPS antenna is mounted, the microphone is done. So we're ready to plug this in, mount it, and then start putting the dash back together as well as the trunk. But I will show you one of my little tricks. And my son is 3D printing these for me now. But if you're interested, you can hit me up. But I'll probably end up selling these things to a few people. But most radios now are an L chassis, which means it's only like this and then it's a screen. And there's just a big void underneath. So it's only, the chassis is just right there. So underneath there's nothing. So you end up with your wires just looking like hell. So there's how my wiring looks, which is nice and pretty because that's the control box and everything. And the way I do it is I develop my own box that goes underneath the radio, which used to be the chassis of the radios, but now they're not that big, and allows me to put my control box in there, all the wiring, and bring everything out and keep it nice and clean. So then when I go to install this, all I have to do is plug that in and mount the radio. I don't have a module and all kinds of plugs that I'm trying to jack around with and shove underneath the radio and get back there. It just works out really, really nice. So now we're 3D printing these, so they'll mount up underneath any L chassis radio because the kits, as you can see, always have the mounting for a full DIN or double DIN chassis. So you just go into those to hold in your box. So if that's something you'd be interested in, you can message me and let me know. If it seems like there's a big interest in it, then hey, I'll make a business out of it. My son can 3D print those all day long and we can sell them. The car is back together other than the subs being installed. Radio's in, trunk's all back in. I'm actually pretty happy with how well everything went back together. It just reflects the original build. All went back together pretty smooth. And check out my new little rig here I got going. I forgot I ordered this. I order all kinds of shit and I forget that I buy it. I got this new, it's like a little selfie stick, but I've got a light on the top of the camera now and everything. Dude, just wait. I'm gonna get in the car, show you the radio. It's gonna be lit up. There's gonna be a light. I've had a couple people complain saying that they can't see in the cars because I don't have lighting. So I've upgraded. So let's check out the radio and see how it looks. All right, so there's the radio installed. See my fancy dancy light. A little too bright, actually. Everything's back together. Down there, we've got the bass knob and the voltage for the big old M5 amplifier. Radio sitting in there good. So yeah, I'm about ready to check out the sub enclosure. I want to check on the curing. I want to check the hardness of the epoxy. If it's hard enough, if it's completely cured, I mean, this is like a one-shot deal. I don't want to do this again. So if he gets the car back and the box blows again and starts buzzing and rattling, I mean, there is no coming back and fixing it. She's done. I went ahead and just finished it tonight. I didn't want to have to deal with anything tomorrow. I'm not going to turn it on tonight, though. I don't want to have to deal with anything. It's like 10 o'clock, it's Friday night. I cut my head. I don't know if you can see the blood. cut my head, I think I broke my finger. Getting those subs in was absolutely painful. It was painful. And I shouldn't have been doing it by myself because I hurt myself a lot. I have so many pulled muscles and smashed fingers, but it's in there, right? It's all that matters. So the subs, everything in the box was already cured and dried. So I should be good to go ahead and fire it up. But like I said, not gonna do it tonight because I need to edit this video down and go home. But you can see it looks just like it did when he brought it in. So there it is, all back together. There's a plate now where the LC7i was because that's been removed. We've got the subs on the inside here and they're all mounted up. So tomorrow morning, I will come over, we'll listen to it, keep our fingers crossed that all that aluminum bracketing fix the problems and that it just does ridiculous violent bass. I've already tuned the 4-channel and that head unit makes such a difference. His sound is so much better. So just right off the bat, from the 4-channel, his mids and highs are 100% better than they were. So much cleaner, so much better. So that's done. The subs, I'm sure, are gonna sound better. I just gotta make sure mechanically everything sounds fine. So that's it for day 2. I'm gonna edit this video down, get it uploaded. Tomorrow I'll have a day 3 video with this thing playing so you can all understand what I'm talking about when I say it is absolutely ridiculous. And that's it. Later.